You might not be aware of it, but the Tesla Model Y has been the best-selling vehicle of any type in the whole entire world for 2023, 2024, and possibly for even 2025. So of all these Tesla Model Ys on the road, and you owning one yourself, how can you make yourself stand out a little bit? Feel a little bit special? if basically you throw a rock on the highway and you'll hit one, well, you can personalize it with a wrap, like this one. This one we acquired is a 2023 Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive with this really cool wrap on it that kind of changes color depending on the way the light hits it. I think it looks awesome. We've gotten lots of compliments on it so far in the short time we've had it. And if you don't like it, you can just peel it off, and underneath you have a nice shade of black. But the nice thing about wraps, it's like a cell phone protector for your car. So the whole outside the car, the whole outside the vehicle, the paint is pretty much encapsulated in this wrap material, protecting it. And this Model Y also has a few other tricks up its sleeves to kind of differentiate it from some of the other Model Ys on the road. Obviously stuff you're gonna have to look in the inside to tell. But this one also has a very rare third row seat package. Probably a lot of people don't even realize third row seating was an option on the Model Y. I think it's quite an expensive option too. I think it was like $3,000 to $4,000 to have the third row seating. Obviously someone like me who's 6'2", I'm not gonna sit back there, but great for kids, making it a little bit more versatile. And then obviously when you don't need the third row seating, you can fold the seats flat. The second row seats all fold flat as well, turning it into a rather large cargo van. In fact, there's so much space back here with the seats folded down, you could camp in here, put a sleeping bag in it, it's very spacious. It actually has a camp mode, which will power down systems in the vehicle you don't need if it's stationary, and keep the climate control system on and the infotainment system on so you can stay warm or cool, watch entertainment, watch movies or YouTube while you're camping. The design of the Model Y, as well as many other Tesla products, is kind of minimalist, which might be a negative to some, positive to others. I kind of see it as like a sensory deprivation chamber. It's very quiet. We have this amazing Tesla double pane glass, which has a sound deadening material in the middle, making this an extremely quiet vehicle. And it also being an electric, where you don't have a vibrating engine or exhaust sounds, turbo or supercharger whines. This thing is so quiet. It's very comfortable, very serene place to spend your daily commute. And it's not overly cluttered by buttons and knobs, because the majority of the functionality is in this screen, and that's by design. And some people say they like, oh, I miss the hard buttons and knobs, but those hard buttons and knobs are there forever. This screen is infinitely reconfigurable. Tesla is constantly pushing out over their updates, improving features, adding features. I have a Tesla, and it seems like almost every couple of weeks I'm getting an update. Here's one recent update. If we take a look over here, we hit this cloud button, and this actually gives us a weather map. So it gives not too much weather today as far as that cloud coverage go. It's a beautiful day out, but yeah, it'll tell you the weather, where you're going, and it will tell you the weather at your destination. Another recent update is they added a weather forecast. So it's able to tell you, this is how it's able to tell you what the weather's gonna be like at your destination. Obviously, if you're only driving 10 miles, not a big difference, but maybe you're driving to Eastern Washington or something like that. And that's the other thing, is the Tesla has this amazing supercharging network. No one has a supercharging network anywhere close to what Tesla has. It's very seamless. Once you add your vehicle onto the account, you don't need to mess with any bill payment or anything like that. The Tesla can tell you your vehicle's charging and will automatically bill your account. You just pull up to the charger, back in, plug it in, and you're good to go. This has a fully charged range of over 300 miles. So, having the fast charger, it's gonna probably be an infrequent thing for you, especially when you're charging at your house. Your house is like the gas station. You plug it in, you wake up the next day, you have a full tank of electricity. It's like having an electric toothbrush. When you're done with it, you put it on the charger. Next time you use it, it's fully charged. It's nice not to go to the gas station. And it's nice not to pay thousands of dollars in maintenance. Since we don't have thousands of moving parts, since we don't have an internal combustion engine, like a regular gas car that needs oil changes, fuel system flushes, EFI cleaning services, timing belts, timing chains, spark plugs. The service is very low. I have a Tesla, and I actually recently had my Tesla serviced yesterday. I needed a tire rotation, and the Tesla gave me a message that my low voltage battery was needing to be replaced. My Tesla is about 6 years old, so that's about the time when low voltage batteries need to be replaced. And surprisingly, people don't realize this, even though this has a big battery underneath it, this still has a 12-volt electrical system. So it has a regular 12-volt car battery like you find in a gas car that powers the infotainment system. It fires up, it allows the vehicle to start up, and obviously the electric motors are powered by that high capacity battery, that high voltage battery, but a lot of the accessories inside the vehicle and systems are powered by the 12-volt system, which charges off the high voltage system. I used to have an Infiniti FX37, and I think to replace a battery on that at an Infiniti dealership was $600 or $700. I replaced the battery one time myself in my Infiniti, and going to O'Reilly's getting the cheapest battery, it was $350. Replacing my 12-volt battery under Tesla, this wasn't under warranty. Well, I'll show you right here. Look at that, that's my bill, $127.60. They sent, and I didn't have to take it to the Tesla dealership, they sent a mobile repair person to come to my work, I work at a car dealership, to replace my battery for $127.60. And on top of that, they rotated my tires for $65. So I got a tire rotation and a brand new 12-volt battery for $212.44. Extremely cheap. How can Tesla do it? Well, Tesla doesn't want to gouge customers. This is the way they attract, more people to buy their vehicles. Hey, and I wish, and maybe, a lot of other auto manufacturers would be happy about that. Tesla doesn't really do advertising on TV, because I think a lot of people would be, wait a second, I just spent $1,000 to replace the battery and do an oil change and have a tire rotation in my BMW, and I could do the same thing for $200 on my Tesla. And hey, I got a surprise for you. This Model Y, guess what this competes with? It's not competing with Honda CR-Vs and Toyota RAV4s. In its price point, its refinement, this is a luxury crossover SUV. This competes with BMWs and Mercedes at, service costs that are cheaper than like a Toyota dealership. It's like service costs of a Toyota dealership like in the 1990s. And part of that is Tesla is a vertically integrated company, so they make a lot of their components themselves, where a lot of other auto manufacturers are going to get their batteries from a part supplier, and that's going to go through middlemen, a part distributor, then the dealership markup, where when you're dealing with Tesla, it's factory direct. The battery that they're putting in my car was a battery that they likely made in their factory, so there's no levels of markup. So that's just a glimpse into the low ownership costs of a Tesla and an EV. So with a Tesla, not only are you going to have less service because it's an EV and doesn't have a complex internal combustion engine with moving parts, but also because of the vertically integrated design of Tesla, which is pretty much unique to itself. I don't think there's anyone close to Tesla's vertical integration. Most other people use a dealership franchise model. That's another reason why their service and repair costs are far less than everyone else. I'm sorry, I have a tendency to go on and on about these Tesla videos, but there's just so much to talk about. But let's keep it rolling. I got a lot more to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about the trip planner. So if you do want to go on a long road trip on this thing, we're at 39% battery. So if I want to drive across this great state of Washington to Spokane, Tesla's trip planner will figure it all out for me. You don't have to worry, you don't have to have range anxiety. You put your destination in there, it will figure out the trip for you. It'll figure out where to charge for, how long to charge for. It's going to tell me the weather and stuff at the location I'm arriving at. So you don't have, the Tesla's not going to leave you hanging. If you're worried about making it anywhere, you just put your destination there and the Tesla will let you know if you don't have enough energy to make it to your destination, which is very rare because they have like over 25,000 supercharging locations throughout the United States. You can pretty much drive almost anywhere in the United States without having to worry about it. All right, let's take it a step further. Let's say I want to go to my home state of Boston, Massachusetts. Good old Massachusetts, 2,485 miles. Is it going to plan that whole trip for me? You betcha. There we go. a lot of charging stops, but it's possible. But not too many people drive across country that often. Most people don't drive more than 50 miles a day. So EV with 300-mile range, you're all set. there's a lot of disinformation out there about EVs, and I think a lot of it's by design because a lot of people feel threatened by these things. I would too if I was a big auto manufacturer. All right, we got more to talk about. So we have the software screen, we have Autopilot, which is amazing, adaptive cruise control, and lane keeping assist system. I kind of call it like almost like a full self-driving light. It'll follow the lines in the highway. We'll even work on regular back roads. Just as long as there's lines in the road for it to read, you can drive on Autopilot. But also this has a full self-driving computer 4. So there's a full self-driving computer 3, which is older technology. This has the newest full self-driving technology. This does not have the full self-driving capability. If you want to have it on this thing, it's $99 a month or $8,000. I've had it on my Tesla for about 3 years, and every couple weeks, every couple months, I get a software update where it gets better and better. I can't tell you how far it has come in the last 3 years. Now I have about a 12-mile commute. I'm hands-free. I have my hands on my lap. The car is merging on the highway, passing people, lane positioning, stopping for red lights, merging into intersections, and it's doing it near perfectly. I can't remember the last time I had to do a safety intervention because I thought something was going to happen. It was pulling out in front of a car or doing something that could be dangerous or piss off another driver. This full self-driving is amazing, and for 99 bucks a month, for a lot of people, I think it's well worth it. It's just going to lift a weight off your shoulders. It's going to be a little bit stressful the first time you use it, but once you get used to it and you start trusting it, it's going to be quite amazing. In fact, this month, with the same technology that's in this Tesla, this very Model Y, Tesla is going to offer a commercial driverless robotaxi business. So Tesla Model Ys, is very similar to this, are going to be driving around without drivers. That's pretty amazing. It's like a Waymo, but the Waymos cost like $180,000 to build with all the LiDAR sensors. This does not cost $180,000. You can buy one of these in the $30,000 range. And it's quite possible for it to be a driverless robotaxi. Eventually, possibly offsetting the ownership costs of owning a vehicle like this. By while you're at work or while it's parked or while you're not using it, it can offset its cost by going out there and ride sharing. That's pretty amazing stuff. Or even that, you get dropped off the mall, the car can go park itself. The car can go drop your teenager off at high school and then come back and give you a ride to work. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and we're at the verge of this revolution of driverless cars. And I've seen it grow over the last 3 years in my Tesla, where it was amazing 3 years ago that it could do this, but it was very wonky, very buggy, constant interventions. But Tesla used that information. People like me, all these years driving these, using the systems, Tesla has used that data to improve it, to train their supercomputers, to improve the software. And every software update, it gets better and better. To maybe one point, these cars could be like 10 times a better driver than a normal human being, like superhuman levels of driving. These cars don't get distracted. There's cameras all the way around it. It doesn't look on its cell phone. It doesn't fall asleep. Doesn't spill its coffee. It's always paying attention. One of these days I'll be able to do one of these Tesla videos without having them go 20 minutes, but like I said, there's just so much to talk about. There's no engine up here. We have a frunk, which is additional storage. It's also a safety feature because you have a crumple zone that's about 60% larger than a gas car. So you have all that space in the front to absorb crash energy. And by the way, this is one of the safest crossover SUVs you can buy, one of the safest vehicles on the road. On top of all that other stuff I'm talking about, if you value safety, this is very safe. And lots of space. This is a compact crossover, but it has a lot more space than the comparable gas-powered compact crossover because we don't have drive shaft, exhaust systems, gas tanks in the floor. It's completely flat, so you have a clean sheet design. Very, very spacious vehicle for its size. And we have more cargo space on this side and then this side. We're not done yet. Then under here, this is a very sizable cargo area. Again, there's no gas tank or exhaust system, so it frees up a lot of space that you normally wouldn't have in an internal combustion engine powered vehicle because this is an EV. And the last thing I want to talk about is a little bit of a fun thing on this one. See this acceleration boost upgrade? This has the acceleration boost upgrade, which is a $2,000 in-app purchase. So it's been assigned to this vehicle, so it will transfer to the next owner. You won't lose it. It's $2,000, and it lowers the 0 to 60 down to 4.2 seconds. Normally it's right around 5 seconds. This thing is very, very quick. 0 to 60 for 4.2 seconds. You're gonna out-accelerate a lot of performance vehicles. And the thing with EVs, you have instantaneous acceleration. There's no gear changes. There's no revving of the engine to its peak power band. You have instant thrust. This thing has dual electric motors, and electric motors make diesel-like torque. It's like having two little diesel engines in the back and the front, except they're dead quiet and smooth and don't shoot out black smoke. It's a neck-snapping acceleration, passing on the highway, performance driving. It is an absolute hoot. Well, thank you for my long-winded video, and I definitely appreciate you if you're still watching at the 20-minute mark or so. I think a lot of people have checked out, but a lot of Tesla information. I've bought and sold hundreds of Teslas over the years. I've owned a Tesla for about 3 years. Don't get me wrong, you know, as much as I talk about Teslas and EVs, I love all sorts of cars. I own a gas car, I own a Ford, but I daily commute in an EV, a Tesla. But you know, a lot of manufacturers make great EVs, not just Tesla. You know, Ford has the Mach-E, which is fantastic, and the Lightning. We sell a lot of Polestars. So there's places for everything. You know, obviously if you want to tow a 20,000 pound trailer and 20,000 pound trailer across 2 states, you're not going to get an EV. You're going to get a big diesel truck like that. So there are still places for internal combustion engines, but there are a lot of places for EVs. And I think a lot of people might be starting to realize, including you, that it might be now might be the time to transition into a battery electric vehicle as your primary vehicle or a commuter vehicle. Well, thanks for watching. We're Way Scarff Ford. We've been in business over 100 years, proudly serving the greater Seattle-Tacoma area, located in Auburn, Washington. Please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks so much. We have content coming out all the time, and we hope to see you soon.